Hi and welcome to Silver Soul Tarot. Today we are going to do a chakra reading. Let's start off, shall we? Now, strange, that one came straight out. What I was going to say is let's crack on. First of all, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Jo. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Why are you not subscribed? Am I that bad? Otherwise, if you are a subscriber, much love to you. So yeah, we take one card per chakra, and then we hang on. This is the, what is it, Heal Yourself Oracle, and we will hit the Urban Tarot to, see what the messages are exactly, and then we finish it off with the Healing Mantra deck. So that threw me, but let's crack on. I do apologise for lighting. My ring light broke, and I have got one on order over by the window, so I'm sort of a bit kerfuffled because I'm backwards. I've moved my normal position, so you'll see that get light and dark because the clouds. I can't do very much about that, but it is coming. Okay, so down at the root chakra. So this is your physical identity, stability, sense of safety. Discover your life's purpose. Okay, so someone here maybe feels like they're not quite figured out what it is that they want to do, or you're just kind of coasting through life doing jobs that pay the bills, but not actually something that sparks your soul or your creativity or your heart, even your thoughts, your mind. Let's go, that one's sticking out. Let's go with that one. We've got fortitude. Okay, so that's the 9 of Wands in this deck. Like I say, maybe you're just skirting through life, literally just paying the bills, popping some money aside for rainy days and all those sorts of things. Maybe you want to build something a bit more stable, something a bit more you can protect, your fortitude, your fort, what it is that, let me just glide them over a little bit, what it is that will give you a real sense of stability and purpose. And the next card out is the Public Defender with the Queen of Wands. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Yeah, so now's the time that you need to stand up for yourself and start being vocal about what it is that you do want to do, or trying new things, or just you could be dealing with the law, in which case, I never say it's going to work out in your favour because I'm not privy to that information, but I always just say, judgment will be made as it should be. So maybe now's the time to really start laying down some foundations, start maybe learning, with the Public Defender there. Maybe now's the time to get into something a bit more in depth, something maybe you have to go back to college for, or do some training around something that will give you a real sense of purpose, what it is that you want to do with the rest of your life, and how you want to build a stable future. This does seem to be a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for, a theme of the day, of sort of having a good hard look at what it is you're doing, how you're living your purpose, how you're living your life, how you're earning your money. Is it actually what you want to do? It's very strange. Sorry, I didn't say. So next one is the sacral chakra. This is your emotional identity, creativity, desire, procrastination. So maybe there's a little bit of kind of procrastinating going on. I'll put it off tomorrow, what you could probably do today. Maybe it's now it's time. I'm going to say it. Now's the time to pull your finger out your ass. Yeah, and get going and start putting that energy in, start putting that time in, start learning, start teaching, even, like whatever it is, it's time to pull your finger out your ass and get going. I feel like this is a bit of a slap around the face for someone. Interference with the 8 of Swords. Okay, so procrastination, maybe you're allowing people to interfere and keep you down and keep you docile. Do you know, maybe now's the time to pull your finger out your arse. I don't know if I can call the title of this video that, but I do feel like time to snap out of it and and be very honest and be, you know, with yourself. Like, you know, there's that sort of lawyer client privilege, you know, maybe it's time to start actually being quite truthful with yourself, and yeah, not allowing people to hold you down where they like you to be. Do you know what I mean? And then you get the Ace of Discs. Okay, so the aces are all about new beginnings. This could be a new this could be financial. Okay, it could just be something in your 3D, something in your reality shifts for the better, and you get this new beginning. Look how strong you become holding all this on your shoulders. You know, you can actually take that step up. You can actually have that foundation that really sets up whatever the next stage of your life is. I feel like you need to get going. It's not, I don't think it's more specifically like hurry up, tapping on your watch, you know, time. I don't think it's so much that. I think it's like, if you don't, you've got to make the first move, because if you don't, you'll just forever be stuck. Right, let's hit the solar plexus. So this is your ego, identity, personal power and ambition. Patience. Okay, so be patient with yourself. Like I said, it's time to get moving. It's time to pull your finger out your ass and get going. But be patient with yourself as you transverse this newness. You know, this is new, so it's not something you've done before. So it's okay to stumble. It's okay to falter. It's okay to have the days where you know, take a step back. But I think as long as the right moves are being made in the right direction, you'll start moving forward the way you should. Right, let's take... Oh, sorry, I was just looking at the card. There's nothing really more I could draw from that. I was sitting on a well. I couldn't really think of anything for that. It wasn't really standing out to me. You got the Five of Wands with strife. Yeah, like I say, when you stop allowing people to hold you down where they want you, you might encounter a little bit of resistance, a little bit of arguments, and some stalemates might be reached, you know. When you try to push back against whatever this interference is, yeah, it might cause... Some people aren't going to like it. Some people aren't going to like that you are going to get up and start moving. You know, they like you where you are. Whoa, that's far too many cards, and I just dropped them all. But I will just say, the dancer is about doing what is your passion. You know, getting out there and being confident and strutting your stuff. Yeah, people aren't gonna like it, and you have to have patience with them. You know, as much as with yourself. Obviously, if there's, you know, family involved, a partner or children, and a bit of a switch up and a bit of a change in the way that you're making your money might cause some conflict. But, you know, just have patience with that, and just be aware that nothing's going to run smoothly. You got the Aeon. Okay, that is the World card in traditional tarot, but in this sense, it's about, yeah, it's making that completion of that cycle. It's allowing the energy to move. It's having a look at yourself, judging yourself, and others are going to judge you as well. But it's just about making those right moves at the right time, closing out the things you need to close out, keep the things open and that you need to keep open. You know, setting your ambition, you know, setting that ambition to be someone different. Okay, so the next up we've got is the heart chakra. So this is your social identity. It's about to get a little bit dark because there's a big ass cloud coming over. Your social identity, love, relationships. Okay. We've got help from above. Okay, so that's where your relationships are probably going to be really coming into fruition, as they come from above to help. You will be guided. You will have paths cleared for you. I think it's going to be uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong. No change is comfortable, but you will be shown the way. You'll be guided. You've got the Knight of Swords, the Game Master. Yeah, you're going to be in control of moving your pieces, you know, your chess pieces, and becoming the master of your life. It's very easy to sit down here and just sort of procrastinate. Maybe you've been procrastinating while you were figuring out what it was that you did want to do, and you know what the next step was for you. Take that as it resonates. But once you start making the moves, the pieces start falling into place. The Knight of Swords is all about, you know, speed, you know, communication, even thoughts, ideas. Maybe the more you do, the more ideas will come to you about what it is you can do. Maybe you're a little bit of an entrepreneur. You've got the kindergarten teacher, the Princess of Discs. Now, she's all about keeping things grounded. She's very earth energy. But it's also, you know, she's the kindergarten teacher. So it's this very childlike energy, this very innocent energy, but you're learning, you know, when you're in kindergarten or nursery, you know, depending on what part of the world you're from. It's about, you know, socialization skills and hand to eye, you know, coordination, and it's learning through play and things like that. So I do think there's definitely this element of trying different things and seeing what sticks, and having patience with yourself while you're learning that. Okay, and following your heart, you know, following your heart around what fits and how it fits. The next up we've got is the throat chakra. So this is your self-expression, communication and integrity. That card is what wanted to come out, but I let go. Entrapment. Okay, so be careful that you don't end up stuck in... This is definitely a theme of the day, being stuck in that dead-end life, soul-sucking job that just pays the bills, but it doesn't spark you in any way. It doesn't, you know, you don't crave anything from it other than it pays the bills at the end of the month. It's definitely a theme of the day, because it's very easy to get trapped in that. I know I went to work in one place for 6 months just to help out. 3 years later I was still there, and that's when I was like, yeah, no, I've got to, you know, I could be here for another 3 years before I'd even consider kicking myself in the arse, but I needed to figure it out and move on. Do you know what I mean? From 6 months to 3 years, no. No. Justice. Okay, so yeah, this is about balance, the sword of truth. Maybe getting some sort of contract. Maybe there could be a potential of being trapped in a contract here for someone. Please take this as it resonates. Like I say, it's easily done. 6 months can turn into 3 years really quickly if you're not on the ball and paying attention. Yeah, I would just this is like, just make sure you're very clear if you are going to be signing contracts, especially, you know, make sure it's written to both parties' approval. You know, don't be afraid to go, yes, but I want X, Y, Z. Speak up for yourself if you're going to end up being in a contract sort of, just be careful. Just be careful. There's a word of warning. Then you've got the Three of Wands with virtue. Now, yeah, like I say, just make sure you're clear on what it is you need, what it is you want, how much money, if you're going to be going into working for someone else. If you're going to work for yourself, then obviously, fantastic, go for it. I would always encourage people to step out of the corporate bullshit, do you know what I mean? And go at it alone. But I mean, you could be here, could be climbing a ladder. So maybe you might get some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Upgrade, but what's the word? Promotion for someone here. That might be for someone here. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there could be a real sense of going up in the world, but I think this is all about you finding your purpose rather than just going up in the world, up the corporate ladder. So yeah, be smart, play the game, be smart. Okay, so the next is the third eye. Okay, So this is self-reflection, intuition, clarity of sight, you know, understanding the slightly larger picture, seeing things in a different way. We've got courage. Yeah. Be brave, be bold, you know, understand that, you know, you might be getting some downloads and there's some help from above. And being courageous, not only like from in the help from above, but in your own abilities, skills, learning. Then we've got the Queen of Cups, and that is the therapist. So maybe you need to talk through some things with people. Maybe, like I say, if you've got family and, you know, people who rely on you, you know, it might cause some strife. But if you talk to them in advance, explain the situation, really work through it with them using your throat chakra, you know, maybe could mitigate some of the potential fallout, or just being truthful, like I say, with yourself, like I said down here with the public defender, and, you know, be your own lawyer and be truthful with yourself and try and mitigate any issues that might come up. But what is your life's purpose? What is it you want to do? What's the puzzle pieces that need to be moved to okay, that need to be moved to make the best life. Okay, so you've got the Lovers card coming out. Now, the Lovers card is twin flame, soulmate, you know, deep soul connection. As you can see, there's, you know, marriage here. Maybe that's where one of these sort of contractual things come in. Maybe it means that you can take that next step in your life. You know, maybe that's part of the reason why you haven't, you know, maybe flown, you know, because you've just been holding yourself back. But actually it leads you on to something quite beautiful. Now, it could also be that the decisions that need to be made, maybe there's some decisions here that need to be made about, you know, what it is you want to do next, where your courage is going, and I mean, maybe working through any issues, especially around procrastination, might just lead you on to something quite beautiful, a romance. Take that as it resonates, if it resonates with you as romance. Right, so the last one we have is the crown chakra. That is your self-knowledge, spirituality, and connection to the divine. Inner child. Yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense. The reason why maybe you haven't yet discovered your life's purpose, why you might be procrastinating, why you might need to have a little bit of patience with yourself, is because there's some healing here that needs to be done. There's some care you need to take with yourself. You could be healing some real inner child energy, some wounds from childhood. Maybe this is learned behaviour. Maybe you didn't have the best childhood or the best growing up, you know, situation, and it's kind of made you a little bit unsure of what steps to take in life. And I hope this really helps out, because it's clearly you need to build some sort of foundation for yourself, because that could also lead on to having someone else coming in and sharing that with you. Okay, let's take a couple of tarot. Oh, there's two there. So we've got the Six of Swords, which is science. Okay, so yeah, come at this quite analytically. Think it through. Be prepared to answer any questions. Almost like a science experiment, you know. But all the swords are pointing to the heart. So I do think we should be following our heart as well. And the heart chakra was all about getting some help, playing the game. Okay. And doing some fun stuff with the kindergarten teacher and mastering those skills. Yeah, there's also, like with the snake, is always about shedding skin. And there's the x-ray. So there could be something here about healing, especially healing the heart, especially childhood wounds. And then we've got the painter. Okay, so the Queen of Swords, she's the painter. It could be about the way that you're looking at things or the way you're expressing yourselves. but it's definitely about being, getting fun, getting dirty. Even the kindergarten teacher was covered in paint. I'll slide her out. I don't know if I'll be able to get her in quite as nicely. Being creative, yeah. Don't worry about, dare I say, getting dirty. You know, get your hands dirty. Maybe it's a job where you can be much more creative, or it is a more get your hands sort of dirty kind of job that it will be your life's purpose. It could just be one of the things that you try to discover what that is. Okay, we're going to take a couple of healing mantras just to close out the energy, see if any further messages want to come through. So the first card out is allowing appreciation. The value of my life increases each time I appreciate everything in it. Yes, it does. Have patience with yourself. Don't get entrapped in pointless arguments and strife, and certainly no dodgy contracts. Thinking of sort of getting entrapped in contracts, if you're dealing with a contract you're already in, maybe you need to talk to someone, you know, a legal matter. Maybe it's something you need to discuss. Well, I was going to say something else. Or if it's something like debt, you know, make sure you're smart and you deal with debts and things like that before you start changing up jobs, or, you know, rearranging your finances in a way that allows you to follow your dreams a little bit more. Inviting ecstasy. I am worthy of all the pleasures my heart desires. Yes, you are. I'm going to leave it there. Say thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.